All right, everyone, I want to do an end of the day wrap-up video, kind of a summary video, just point out what happened today, what I'm seeing. I'm going to try to keep this one under 10 minutes, but if you're interested in finding out what the market told us today and what that might mean for tomorrow, stay tuned. So let's get right into it. All right, we're going to focus again on the triple Qs. This sell-off has really been all about triple Qs. It's been about Apple, Microsoft, kind of the big players selling off. That's where most of the selling is happening, and that's dragging the market down. So we're going to focus on that first because that's the most important when it comes to the technicals, not necessarily the fundamentals, but the technicals of this market. So Qs, here's what we got. Trend line right here at 267. It's about 268, but 267, you could move it up slightly, but I'm going to leave it right here. We defended that support. So you can see here at 267.58, that goes back to here. We held as resistance. We gapped above it. Here it was support right in this cluster and here, and then it held it previously here. So the market sees that as kind of the closest level of support. And if we look at the 1 minute, we held it. Here's the 1 minute. And today we opened right at that level, bounced off of that, came down. And I told you in the previous video, what I did is I covered my short and re-entered the short there at 281.40, or I don't remember, the 271.40. I don't remember the exact level, but it was right around 271. Reshorted that, rode that down. And I was expecting this level to break today, but it didn't. And you can see here, they dipped below it just briefly, started to dip below right here. So this, when I was watching this looked like it was going to be the breakdown to me. But then when it snapped back and recovered, I didn't like that recovery. So I covered my short position. And I actually went home flat today because we held this support. And what I want to see now, I want to see a break of this level, 267.55, 267.50. I want to see a break. If we break it in the overnight session and open below it, I'll reestablish my short. But I'm not, I don't want to be short right down here on support when we battled with this level so many times today and just couldn't break it. You can see, with the open, it didn't break there, didn't break here, tagged it again there. Multiple tests trying to break that level and just could not break it. Of course, at the end of the day, they have the end of the day ramped it up. So to me, that tells me that it's not ready to go. So that's why I went home flat. I didn't go home long because I still think we're going lower over the long term or medium term, I guess. Because when you look at the daily chart, we've broken this trend line support. That tells me that we're going down, but maybe we go up. Maybe we go up a little bit. We could even do a full back test. I can't throw that out. That's completely possible that we do another back test. I don't think it's probable, but it's of course possible. So I have to keep that in mind. So what I'm looking for is another opportunity to reestablish a short position. That's really what I'm hunting for. I see one potentially right here on the daily. You can see we had resistance right here, and we've kind of traded around this level right within here. You can see that daily we traded right there. Here's a daily we opened or ran down and tagged it as support that day. So we've had several tags, and that's about 275. So that might be the area to get short. I'm not sure I'm going to get an opportunity at that level, but if I do, I might take another shot at the short side up there. Again, if we do that and I take a shot right there and we start to break up, I'll just cover the short because at that point I'm expecting a back test of this trend line up here. And I don't want to ride that short all the way up there. From where we're at now, that is, potentially 6-7% up. So that's how I'm going to play it for now. If we break this level, 267.50, then I'll reestablish my short position. Or if we bounce up to this 275 level, I'll reestablish my short position there and put a stop. These are moving around on me. Put a stop slightly above that. And that's how I'm looking to play it. So as of right now, Q's held support. Could go tomorrow, could go tonight. It might take another, few more days. Might not happen this week. So we'll have to continue to watch this. Ultimately, I still think we're going lower. But maybe we have some more consolidation to do, more flagging to do in this pattern before we head lower. And that's one of the reasons why I don't play options. I don't like the time element of options. Options are, you have to get the direction right and the time right. And I just think it's hard enough to pick the direction and to manage the trade when you pick a direction that I don't need a time element mixed into it. So I prefer to just go long or sell short stock. That's how I prefer to trade. And volatility didn't spike today, and that makes sense because the Qs didn't break its support level. It held it. So volatility is you're not gonna get that spike till you get that surge of momentum to the downside, or the upside. But typically when you get that big surge of momentum, and that, the surges usually come on the way down a lot swifter than on the way up. But when you get that first initial surge, that's when you'll see volatility just explode higher. Until you get that and, that waterfall selling, that breakdown, then you're not going to get that. Volatility is just kind of drift lower over time until you get that breakdown to the downside. And then volatility will spike higher. And we could obviously get, up to a couple levels on this UVXY. We've got right there. There's a nice clean level. And this is the daily chart, but that's up around 46. So we'll just mark that one out, see how that plays out. We've got another level right up in here. And I'll have to tighten this up on the hourly chart. I'm just trying to keep this chart this video to under 10 minutes. But that's another level up around 67. So we'll have to evaluate that, but 46 would be a nice profit target. Okay, someone said I had my SPY trend line's wrong and we haven't broken support, and I just don't see it. So I was playing around with my trend line, trying to figure out what they were saying. And the reality is that a trend line is not just 2 points. So I just want to make that clear. I don't draw my trend lines connecting 2 points, because if I do that, I can just move this anywhere I want. This could be our trend line with the data point that we got today. I can choose any day that I want and make a trend line. That's not accurate enough. So you need more than 2. You need at least 3. The more, the better. So here's a trend line. I had it marked off the March lows, but we could mark it right here as well from this point. And this would line up more with the triple Q trend line that I have. But we've got the mark here, reaction right in there, right there. Then you break. And if I go to the hourly, can tighten it up slightly. Yeah, I need to adjust it down just a little bit, but perhaps this was your back test right about there. See that candle, that back test right there. So maybe something like that could be our trend line, and several reactions, and we've broken. So there's just no trend line I can make where it hasn't broke. Now, again, I use logarithmic scaling, which measures in percentage terms, not dollar value terms, essentially. So the moves are, measured in percentage terms. But this is how the professionals do it. They measure they chart logarithmically, and so I do the same. Okay, here's Apple. So we closed. It closed above the support line, and if you look at the daily chart here, you can see if I can find it. You can see we basically closed below that range that we previously had made right here. We closed at 110.34. So, it still held support. And if I go to the hourly, you can see we have a little bit of support right here where we consolidated along this trend line here, tagged it again, then moved up, and we haven't been able to break that. And then just recently today, we started, holding that. So 109.20 basically is the level. We held above it. So I'm waiting for a break. If Apple breaks this level, then the Qs will break its level most likely as well. So could come in overnight trading. I went home flat. Maybe I'll miss that. Maybe I'll miss a big gap down. I'm not exactly sure, but as of right now, we held. So looking for tomorrow to see what's going on. That's all I got. 10 minutes. Just wanted to keep it short. Show everyone the tech stock. Really the tech sector and Apple being the major player in that sector. And that's enough information that I have to know, whether we're going to break down or not. So I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you, and catch you guys tomorrow.